Good morning everyone and welcome to Craft Eccentricity, and today I'm doing three things I did explain in yesterday's video. I wanted to show some pens that there aren't really any videos out there on them, and I think they're brilliant, so I just wanted to quickly share those, and then I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to do my Joanne cardstock, and then I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to do my new stamps, and I think just one set of dies that I got. So I'm going to try and be as quick as possible. But first of all, I scribbled down on a piece of paper and I've divided this up. So what I wanted to show you was the POSCA Paint 3M. Now, there are a lot of videos on this. There are barely any on that. I think I found two, and there is nothing at all on this. And let me tell you that the UNI SIGNO Sparkling is a worthy pen to have in your craft kit. Now, the glitter, it gets panned, but you know, for us that like to do memory decks cards, a little bit of mixed media, and want to add some sparkle in there, it's a great pen to look at. But there are plenty of these out there, and the only reason that's there is so that you can compare the three. They are all made by the same company, which is Mitsubishi. It's a Japanese company, and the Japanese really are renowned for their ink. So first of all, I'm going to use this, a really old rubber stamp, and some VersaFine Clair. Sukineko, another Japanese company, you see. So when it comes to ink, the Japanese really do know all about it. And all I'm going to do is, whether it works or not, I'm just going to pop this down. Didn't work so well there, but that's okay. We're only doing the POSCA. And the sparkling pens, I have to tell you, aren't really meant for doing huge areas. They are meant for doing little sparkly details, the kinds of things that we like to do on cards. Now, you can get all sorts of sparkling pens, as you know, the liquid ones from Crafter's Companion. They're really lovely, and they put the colour down, but the mica shimmer will always be silver. That is the thing to note between the two. I think when I'm using these, I'll pop that stamp down there. I'm just going to pause for a minute while I woof this in the breeze and dry it. Okay, so I dried the ink, and I'm going to choose these three from the POSCA paint pens. Now, you see I've written down here 3M, and that is the size. For the glitter, I've got 1M. Now, these are the size of the nibs, and you tend to, you know, if you want really thick nibs, like, hang on just a second, I'll grab one. Like, this is one of my huge chunky paint markers, and if I hold it in my hand like that, you can see just how big that is. This is a Liquitex, and it's an 8.15mm stroke that it will put out, which is quite large. It's if I pop the lid on it and it doesn't spray everywhere, you can see it's very chunky for covering huge pieces of paper. I personally like to use these through stencils. These are not cheap. I think these might be $5 or $6 each. That to me is not cheap. Might even be more expensive now. Hang on, I'm just going to pop that over there. Right, don't want the dog to chew it. And anyway, as I said, 3M is the size that I like, but you can get them in all different sizes. Now, all I'm doing is scribbling down just a little bit of colour to compare with the other pens, and then hopefully we can come back and lay over. Now, the cheapest way to buy POSCA paint pens is in sets. Obviously, it's cheaper if you buy sets, but then you become limited in palette. And if you really, really like them, then you start to buy pens individually in colours that you enjoy. Now, I already said last week, if Tim Holtz ever releases a paint pen in distress colours, I think it will destroy the paint pen market, because it would be absolutely unbelievable. There are no colours like distress colours out there in paint markers. You get very basic shades. Some of them are nice, but sometimes you wish there was like 4 different shades of yellow, or 3 different shades of red, or several shades of blue. I mean, imagine being able to blend, you know, Broken China and Mermaid Lagoon and things like that as a paint pen. I'm really surprised Tim Holtz hasn't done them. I mean, it would be quite extraordinary to get paint pens like that. Right, now we're going up with the glitter. Now, the glitter is a great set to buy. It's ranging between $15 and $20. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, but they do last a long time. Now, this is a 1mm tip, and I'm going to choose similar colours again. Now, the reason that I chose this orangey yellow in the POSCA paint marker is because they don't do a yellow in the glitter. You can buy the set, but to buy the glitter yellow will cost you, are you ready for this, between $6 and $25. That's how much I've seen the yellow glitter for. So if you spot it cheaper, please do let me know. So I'm going for the similar markers here, and all of the POSCA paint markers, they have a ball in there so that you can mix things up. So as I said, it's a smaller nib because it's one of those markers where it's like a little treat of something. It's not necessarily a huge solid colour block that you're putting down, unlike me. I mean, I consider colouring like this with my glitter marker to be a precious waste of my paint, because it's the sort of thing that I use only for adding shimmery details. Like if you've stamped a butterfly and you want to add some sparkle to it, then this is the kind of pen you're going to reach for. And of course, it doesn't matter if you go over the edges, because you can stamp again, because it will behave in exactly the same way as your solid paint marker. Now, I'm hoping my camera is going to behave, and I will get clarity if it kills me. Right, so there is the solid paint marker, and now we've just put the glitter down. Now, if you see that, as I tilt it into the light, you can see the mica on it. I'm going to get this correct. Right. Now, what's different to this than, say, a Crafter's Companion sparkle type pen is the mica that they use in the sparkle is exactly the same colour as the paint. So when you get your shimmer will be orange, your shimmer will be blue, and your shimmer will be pink. It won't suddenly change from pink to silver, which is what you'll see in, as I say, a Crafter's Companion pen, which are very popular, and I love them, and I do use them a lot, especially when I'm watercolouring. So I've just shown you there another pen that's not available really to see online. And then next up, this one, which I think is highly underused for card makers, and this is the UNI, same company as I said again, but it's called the SIGNO, and it's sparkling. It's a gel ink rollerball pen. Now, going for a similar blue, because I've only got one choice in this pack, and sadly you can't get these in any other shades than what you see. And they don't do a yellow, they do a gold, and they do a silver, and I will show you the silver in a minute. That one is my favourite. And pen size nibs again, so you know, you pull it off and you can actually see it's just a gel roller, but what it puts out from the tip is quite extraordinary. So I'm putting it down, it flows beautifully. It is a really, really good quality pen. So I've put my blue down, and I'll pick that up in a second. And now I've got to go to golds because they don't do a yellow. Once again, you can see it's just flowing out of the nib. Gorgeous. You just need to gently touch the surface of your paper. And then my last one is my red. And you can see I'm being frugal, I'm being mean, because they're not cheap pens, but they are good pens. So, right, I've left quite a few gaps there, because as usual you can see what's going on, but I can't. So I'm just going to fill that, and then I'm going to pick it up so that you can have a look. So there's your solid, there's your glitter with your shimmer, and then there, oh, I'm really fighting with my camera today. There is your sparkling, and it goes down so easily. It just floods out of the end of the pen, and that is just cheap Walmart cardstock that I've put that onto. Whoop. Let's turn it that way and see if I can get it in. And that is the red. But what I want to show you is the silver. So I'm going to get the silver out, and I'm going to, this is the reason that I love them and I have them. I mean, if you're doing Christmas cards and things like that, and you're putting down sentiments, and you just want to put a little edge on there, check that out. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the quality, the colour and the shimmer from that pen, you wouldn't think that it came from a pen. And I just wanted to show you, because there are no videos that I have found on the SIGNO sparkling. Now, I'm sure there are more creative, arty people out there who might do one now that they've seen this, and it'll be much better than my little demonstration. But I just wanted to share with you pens that are worth it, that you can put into your crafting supplies. Right, we're already into 12 minutes, and you know I don't like to keep you sitting there for too long. So that was my little pen bit of pens that I think are totally worth it, until of course Tim Holtz brings out a paint pen. And I'm just going to pause, clear the table, and come back with my paper. Right, now on to Joanne Cardstock, £110, and they do them in different colour packs. Now, this one is called Jewels, and I'll turn it that way so that you can see all the shades in it. And it's basically what I have been using for my die cutting at the moment. It does have a white core, but I was pleasantly surprised at the neutrals pack, because in the neutrals pack you get some black cardstock which is solid, and I was really happy to see that. So that is the Jewels. I'm going to try and fit as much as I can into the camera. And then this one is the Brights. So you can see the different colour shades that you get there. And I do believe that that one is the same. So you start to see a few repeats, but not that many. I think the purple is a different shade to that one. I think that one is much darker than this one. So looking at this, I would say that the repeat in this pack is this shade of green. So the bottom is Jewels and the top is Brights. So I'm going to push that there so that you can see them all kind of like color coded together. Don't understand why. Oh, it's because of the angle of the camera. And then I got Primaries, which is this pack. Now you can see the purple is the same. The blue is a different shade. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades of blue now across those 3 packs. This green is the same as this green. So you can see any repeats that you might get. And also the red matches this red. But the pink on the end here is a different shade to this one. Now, I don't know how my camera and table are going to react when I start adding them all up. And then next up is the pastels. Now, the pastels are unique to themselves apart from the neutrals. You may find some of these shades in neutrals. Now, that blue down there might look the same as this, but it's not. It's a totally different shade. So this pack really, there is nothing repeated down in the other rows. This green is paler than this green and this green. Now up to the neutrals, and these are the colours that you get. We're getting real close here now. So maybe what I need to do is remove one of these, because I think they may have more in common with the neutrals, this pack here. Now, black is solid. This grey is darker than this grey. And then as I go along here, actually, I don't see anything repeated in that one. And you get white and cream. And the creams are a different shade as well. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's £110, and I think if you measured it, you'd probably say that this was 300 GSM weight. It's a really heavyweight cardstock. Right, now I'm just going to move these out of the way. I'm going to pause for a second and grab my stamps. Okay, so first up, I got a set of 3 little clouds. I am a cloud collector because I love to use them with my characters and for backgrounds. So I got those, and they're really, really sweet. And I ordered these 2 stamps, which they look nothing like on the website. And there is also typos in those. So I intend to use the stamps, because even though they don't look identical to the website, I do like them, but I won't be using the sentiments because of the typos. But I stamped those out and I will show you. See, it comes out okay here, but then you'll have nothing to smile about when you're alt. So they put a T on the end of there. And then on Surrendered, they put a T on the end of there. And then on what is supposed to be, I don't know if I can get in close there, US Airmail, it says US Air Hail, which might be appropriate to use for Christmas, you know. Stick a load of snow in there and pop a Santa hat on him, and US Air Hail will be okay. But I do love the stamp, so I gave them 5 stars for delivery, but I did point out in my feedback that, you know, that's not good really. But as I say, I love the images and I will use the images. Right, the other stamp set that I got is this little deer set. It's out of the bag because I want to stamp it, and it's back to front. There you go. We've got Happy, Bright, Merry. We've got little birds on twigs. Now, some of these are still joined. You can see I've pulled them off and tried to use them. So you've actually got to cut the birds off the branch. And I already cut the little bow away from the heart. And then you've got that gorgeous sort of like retro style deer, retro style little snowflake starbursts, and little retro ornaments. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pop that there, and I'm going to stamp the retro deer. So I'm going to pop my piece of cardstock in. I've taken my magnets out because I'm tired of trapping my fingers, and I just think that as long as I've got it close up to the corner there, then I know where the register is for it. But this is quite a delicate stamp, so it's important to see that it stamps nicely and correctly. So VersaFine Claire, move that up a bit so that you can see. I'm going to whack whack the camera with the lid. And so let's put that down. I've noticed that a lot of people now, they just leave the lid down rather than pressing too much, which can smudge your design. I didn't press there. So there you go. A really, really sweet deer. Really like that. And then there's something really tiny and delicate in there. and I like to stamp things like that as well to make sure that they work. And so I'm going to stamp this teeny weeny little bow. So that's something I would pop around that deer's neck, or even onto one of its little antlers. So let's stamp that up and see what that looks like. There you go. Cute little bow. Perfect stamp. Right, so that's that set. And I'm just putting these down on my mat because I'm going to have to clean. So what else have I got? Oh yes, I got this set. And it's like Hello Winter. Hot chocolate is like a hug from the inside. Warm drinks, etc. So something like this is great if you've got any of those mug dies, so that you can take them from being like coffee for a friend sort of thing into sweeter than hot cocoa and turn them into a Christmas thing. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go for a sentiment and that peppermint candy cane, and I'm going to stamp those. So just grab everything out that I want. Right, so I want that one, and Hello Winter is quite a fine looking one, so I want to see if that stamp's okay. I'll just pop that there, pick it up and stamp it. Have you ever put your stamp onto your stamping tool the wrong way? I have. Stamp the back of the stamp instead of what you're supposed to. So there is Hello Winter, and that is a nice crisp image, because it's nice to see that things work if you're going to buy them. And here is that peppermint, and I'm hoping that works because that'll look brilliant coloured in with markers, all vivid and bright. Right, so I'm just tapping along there with, I'm trying to get it onto the stamp rather than just sticking it all onto my lid. I'll give that a gentle press and a rest. And there's a bit there. There you go. Peppermint candy stripe. I'm going to pick that up in a second. Don't know what it is with my camera today. It keeps going blurred. So there you've got a really cute little deer, a little bow that can go onto the antler or be positioned around the neck. You've got Hello Winter stamped beautifully, and that gorgeous peppermint stripe that can be coloured in any colour that you want it to be. So really happy with my stamps and my little clouds, and I recommend them. If you can cope with the fact that a set of stamps, I think these were $2.50 each, and you can't use the sentiments, then they are great images, and I'll be using these on ATCs and the corners of journal pages and things. So that is what I had for you today. Right, I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed my cardstock, and I hope that you enjoyed the sparkle of these pens and the fact that no one really talks about them, which is sad, because as you can see, super pretty. I mean, even if all you ever bought was the SIGNO silver, you know, totally worth it. You're going to really love it at Christmas when you're just, you know, stamping little snowflakes and things like that, and you can put your little bit of twinkle of silver on there, and that it will look like silver. That's the important thing. Right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow, yes, it's Friday, and I will be up with MXR. You have an absolutely awesome day. Thank you so much for watching, and as usual, all links below. Bye.